So, Evil Mojo recently put out an April Fools update that brought a funny haha playable horse as a character to Paladins Champions of the Realm.
That actually is pretty funny.
And the real joke about this is that I don't think the devs realize how brilliant Horse as a character was. They just made the mount a playable character that it spit at you, jumped high, had a dash, and bit you. But the reality of it all was that Horse was probably the most well-designed character the game's had since Vatu, which is 3 years ago, and that's really saying something. How does your joke character, meant not to be taken seriously, end up being one of the best products you put out in years? Now, instead of trashing on the devs for once, I actually want to talk about what can be learned from this Horse and how the devs should continue with their characters' designs and philosophies. Horse was literally 4 abilities thrown onto a character for a laugh, so you might be asking yourself, how is something so unoriginal somehow this fantastic thing? Because it's just that. Horse isn't original and is simply 4 fun things thrown together that work well. Ray Primary, a quick melee, a Tiberius leap, and a Fernando dash all accumulated into one of the most intricate kits that gave Horse a true identity. And the reason why is because of the few extra steps the devs took to make the kit flow. The most important thing to note is that each ability had damage, and that works really well for dives, and it all flowed perfectly. Making Tiberius Leap not have a startup does exactly what you think it would do. It's something people have been saying to do for Tiberius for a while now. It simply makes the leap feel good, which works really well when you would use it sort of like how you use Winston jump in Overwatch. The dash, however, is the cherry on top, even though it's the only spot where I have any criticisms. It was the important cooldown because hitting people gave you a flat true heal of 450. Now, this was definitely put in because of the game mode, which, sure, whatever, but when it comes to Horse's functionality in Siege, it was kind of bullshit just because anything uncounterable is inherently bullshit. Besides that, the dash is really what gave the character depth. I'll label this phenomenon as ground pound stalling. See, the best part of the character was just how jank it was, so it was really techy and conversely satisfying to use. By using your dash mid-leap, you'd be able to firstly fucking send it, and second, you still keep the burst damage from your leap when you hit the ground. Comboing mobility skills to set up burst damage for dives is just fucking sick, and it's really fun. Because if you were really goated at the game like I am, you'd be able to hit the damage from the dash, then the ground pound and hard burst people. This combined with the honestly brilliant addition of a slow for hitting your quick melee that also works really well with the kit because of the risk reward element it brought to, well, the gameplay loop. For even more burst damage in your dives, accumulated in creating a sick-ass dive character that had a kit centered around hitting mobility skills for quick, strong engagements that would force people to fight you. And it's crazy. You might see this and think it's completely unfair that you could burst someone down so quickly, but in this day and age, it's probably a good thing that Horse did damage while diving without a support being able to just wag their finger at you and say, fuck you. I loved Horse because I personally think it's fair for me to commit my mobility cooldowns and forms of self-peel as a trade-off for fucking people up. This right here is fair, and no one can tell me otherwise because it doesn't come for free. The only reason it could maybe be considered bullshit is because Horse was fast as fuck because it's a goddamn mount shooting ray projectiles and had no animations because it was half-assed, and half the mounts in the game are pay to win anyways. Horse had a true identity as a dive character that, for the week it was out, had a kit that gave players avenues for true skill expression with an incredibly simple kit. Horse was the true embodiment of depth and simplicity. For once, it felt like the devs sat down, came up with a fun idea, and didn't overthink anything. And what they ended up with was a funny as fuck bomb-ass dive character with a unique identity for this game, involving aiming and utilizing mobility skills as burst combo tools. There was so much cool shit you could do with this character, and it didn't even have cards and talents and is missing its 5th ability. Imagine if the devs took all of this, didn't change or remove a single thing besides the true heal on dash, and gave the character fucking, I don't know, cooldown reset ult that gave you increased damage for a duration, and just made it a character. you would have an engaging character that doesn't have essays worth of fucking nothing, no cheesy bullshit, that actually stands on its own as a character. No recent character designs come even close to Horse, maybe excluding Azan, however he's got decent amounts of problems balance-wise. But other than maybe Azan, no other character comes close in terms of the quality, identity, and simple fun. Again, simple. You don't need champions to have 36 different TTKs, 3 different fire modes when you only have one viable one, BS hooks and or random AoE spam, cone toggles, and shitty Dead by Daylight abilities, or abilities that require you slamming your head against the wall when the clock strikes 5 while taking a fat shit on a dead snail to not die as fast as you would otherwise. You need this. Simple abilities that give the character an honest identity. The devs really should take Horse as their most important lesson to learn from. They weren't trying to make a character do something never before seen, they just wanted to make a joke character with a fun, simple kit. They wanted to make something fun, and surprise surprise, they finally succeeded. I honestly think it's worth noting that this video was honestly quick, because I didn't have to say much in terms of what Horse was, because Horse simply was a fun character. And even if the takeaway isn't that Horse was a perfectly designed character with only a few hiccups in terms of balance, then at least take away the fact that mobility shouldn't feel like shit if it's on a cooldown that can be easily outplayed and punished. I'm going to miss this stupid Horse. It was fun while it lasted. I hope the devs learned the valuable lesson they need to from Horse and steer the game back in a good direction. It's still leagues to go, but maybe it's not impossible. But I think leaving the game on a high note is probably the best. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you all on April 9th.
Pick it up! Bet my money on a stupid horse, I lost that. So I ran out to the track to get my cash back. I just gotta leave this place with a big bag. So I found the fucking jockey and I grabbed it. Pushed it down to the ground and I punched him in his face. Yeah, I stole his phone that put him in his place. Me and the horse leaving stupid horse, I just fell out of the Porsche. Lost the money in my bank account, oh no. Stupid horse, I just fell out of the Porsche. Lost the money in my bank account, oh no. Stupid horse, I just fell out of the Porsche. Lost the money in my bank account, oh no. Stupid horse, I just fell out of the Porsche. Lost the money in my bank account. Stupid horse and a swordfish jealous. Spending my money on fish that jealous. Go so fast now. Go so fast now. Racing horses as a journey. Why am I never getting lucky? I never have any money. I never win any money. Stupid horse, I just fell out of the Porsche. Lost the money in my bank account, oh no. Stupid horse, I just fell out of the Porsche. Lost the money in my bank account, oh no. Stupid horse, I just fell out of the Porsche. Lost the money in my bank account, oh no. Stupid horse, I just fell out of the Porsche. Lost the money in my bank account, oh no.
I've decided.
Why?
Lost the money in my bank account, oh no. Stupid horse, I just fell out of the
Oh my god,
Lost the
Pico.
money in my bank account.
Why are you trying to kill me, Pico?